You remember those documents that were uncovered not but a couple of days ago that really proved that Fauci lied in front of Congress and perjured himself? Oh yeah, that was a long time ago. Need not bring that up anymore, right? Yeah, because the White House isn't going to do fuck all about it. He's totally going to skate on this like every one of these motherfuckers is going to. All of their fucking rhetoric, all of their genocidal ramp up towards a fucking civil war that's on the horizon. I hate to be the fucking Tim Pool of bad news, but we're here. We're here at this point because all of these technocrats, all of these tyrants, these lauded authoritarians, they're going to get away with all of it, and we're going to be left holding the bag. Our kids are going to be left holding the bag. Their kids' kids are going to be left holding the bag because this is never going to end, never going to end until you put an end to it. White House stands by Fauci over gain-of-function research controversy. Of course, all of his friends were there and all of his friends helped fund him, so why would this not be the case? White House signal Thursday at continued support to the nation's top infectious disease expert. Yep, his personal emails couldn't kill him. And then giving money and lying about it, committing fucking perjury. Shit that people have been impeached over, but the highest paid government employee still gets to keep his job, and in fact has been reaffirmed. These motherfuckers, man. Ugh. Statements Fauci made to Congress have come under review following the release of more than 900 pages of documents obtained by The Intercept, detailing how federal money by the United States-based health organization EcoHealth Alliance to fund bat coronavirus research in Wuhan Institute of Virology in China. Critics say the documents show Fauci misled Congress. No, he just lied. He just lied. We went through him. When asked Thursday press conference briefing if she would retract a previous statement that under no circumstances Joe Biden would consider firing Fauci, White House Press Secretary Comrade Psaki doubled down on his support for the doctor. Oh yes. Politburo says NIH has never approved any research that could make... They're openly gaslighting people. Never approved any research that would make the coronavirus more dangerous to humans. Didn't ask that. We asked about gain-of-function research on bat viruses in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Didn't ask about any of that stuff. But hey, you just answer whatever question you want and then just grab your things and shuffle off before you have to be held accountable for any of it, and that's cool. Would you like to address this? Oh boy, we're really pushing at this point, but I got nothing to lose, so I don't care anymore. I just want to get this information out there for you guys to do whatever you want with, because if you have a child and they're starting to force fucking vaccines on them, you should know the associated risks. Oh yes, vaccines are safe and effective and all that wonderful shit, however they want to spin it, whatever it is, depending on the fucking day or where the moon and the sun are aligned with one another, okay? Remember, I'm not a medical professional and I'm not offering any medical advice. Nobody would be stupid enough to confuse me with a fucking doctor. I could tell you what to do when it comes to lifting and eating properly and getting enough sleep at night, but outside of that, my purview, my scope of practice does not include fucking syringes. No shit. But teenage boys more likely to suffer heart inflammation from vaccines than COVID-19 hospitalizations. Let that sink in for a moment. Safe and effective vaccines. The two main COVID-19 vaccines used in the United States are more likely to land teenage boys in the hospital than COVID-19 itself, a new study has found. New study? I'm just presenting the news here, guys. Researchers analyzing reports submitted by Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting Systems, VAERS, a passive reporting system run by the U.S. health authorities, discovered that the rate of cardiac adverse events for males between age 12 and 15 without a serious underlying health condition after getting their second BioNTech and Pfizer or Moderna, the two biggers, COVID-19 dose was up to 6 times higher than the risk of COVID-19 hospitalizations. Let that sink in for a moment. They were running the tests on 12 to 15-year-olds who, you know what, are normally some of the most healthy kids out there. But hey, let's just go ahead and disregard that fact for a second because we have for the past 18, 19 months at this point. So that's all right. We can shelve that for a moment. Why do you think right now they have the cutoff line at 12 years old? There's something there they're concerned about. I don't know if they're trying to weaponize it or not, but there's something they're concerned about at that 12 years of age. And I don't think anybody watching this is going to be stupid enough to be trying to force their kid to do something that could be very detrimental to them, because this ain't no fraction of a fucking percentile. These are some serious numbers. Boys aged 16 to 17 without medical or comorbidities were also more likely to suffer a serious side effect following the second dose of vaccines, which are built on messenger RNA technology versus infection by the coof. Pfizer and Moderna shots are by far the most widely used vaccines in the United States. Pfizer is the only one that has been approved by drug regulators, and the only one used in children aged 12 through 17. Moderna must be running into some significant setbacks, which we're made unaware of right now, but don't worry, emergency authorization use, it's all fine, it's safe and secure. Over 8 in 10 cardiac adverse events result in hospitalization. Okay. Researchers led by Dr. Tracy Hoeg, a epidemiologist at the University of California, Davis, also said the data show that the same male population is less likely to need hospital care after vaccination if they had at least one medical comorbidity. Let that sink in. The data shows that the same male population is less likely to need hospital care after vaccination if they have at least one medical comorbidity or serious pre-existing conditions like kidney disease, and that young girls are at much less of a risk of heart inflammation or other cardiac adverse event. Healthy boys from the age of access to getting the poke through adulthood, through 18 years of age, have a much greater risk of getting an enlarged heart. Now, it's not certain you're going to get it, but that's a certain disclaimer that I have to run because, big tech and the science and all that kind of fun stuff, obviously, and this isn't medical advice, duh. These are just legitimate studies that are making very shocking claims. So use that information as you will. And it's something I've been banging on for a while, that all of these fucking mandates, all of these new overarching lawsuits that eventually come up to the Supreme Court and they're going to have to rule on something. I don't know about vaccine mandates, because you take a look at the smiling faces that are up there, and a necessary majority are fairly different when it comes to mask mandates. So we're going to have to see what they're going to be doing with vaccine mandates. But I feel like this is eventually going to be the kickoff point as to packing the court. But one very important person who I definitely hope doesn't run afoul or have a history with the Clintons, even though he was appointed by him. Nothing bad happens to old Stephen Breyer, because he's the next most likely, touch wood, and I'm not wishing anything bad on him, of course. He's 80-something, okay, so he's the next one to be replaced, either hopefully through a healthy retirement or just his own will, but he's being forced, he's being poked and prodded right now. There's enough shit going on right now that it's not really necessary that they're going to be looking for a replacement for him, because they'd much rather have Kamala Harris pick somebody anyways. And by they, I mean the Democratic establishment, the deified figure that is the DNC at this point. But they're looking at Breyer, seeing that the time is counting down and knowing that this is probably going to be a one-term administration. Just saying. They have the controls to everything right now, okay? They can just go ahead and force through their Supreme Court appointee before the midterms. So time's a ticking, but Breyer ain't going nowhere. It's a lifetime appointment. It's his purview to do that. And how many justices within just my lifetime have dropped dead on the bench? And the only one that I can think of that's retired was Kennedy. That led to Kavanaugh, which that sucks. But everybody else has just died on the bench. Mostly, Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been dead for like a fucking decade, and you don't need to get into the confusing situation that led to the death of Anthony Scalia. But with that all aside, Breyer issues warning to Democrats who want to remake the Supreme Court. Yeah, they ain't gonna like this, but he's one of them old Democrats, literally. Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer issuing a warning on Democrats wanting to remake the Supreme Court, including expanding the institution with justices, suggesting that Republicans will exploit the Democrats' agenda. You add 3, we add 5. You add 7, we add 21. Fuck you. That's what'll happen. That's what should happen, but Republicans are awfully feckless, and I give them no deference outside of depending on who runs under that banner. We've seen their establishment in action. Status quo humping losers. Breyer, in a wide-ranging interview with NPR, said he will not kowtow to calls for progressive lawmakers to retire due to his age. I'm only going to say that I'm not going to go beyond what I previously said on the subject. That is that I don't recall. Oh, I'm sorry. I do not believe I should stay on the Supreme Court. I want to stay on the Supreme Court until I die. The 83-year-old justice. Holy fuck. I'd really just like to push this to its total absurdity. I hope he lives at least another 17 years. Just saying. It would be fucking delightful. And you know what, Breyer in this picture? Okay, yeah, this is a recent picture from April. That's him right there. This could just be because I'm just so white hot and rage against Biden at this point, but I think Breyer's looking a little bit better than Joe, and Joe is 5 years younger. Saying. And when exactly I should retire or will retire has many complex parts to it. I think I'm aware of most of them, and I am, and will consider them. When RBG died last year, sure, and Amy Coney Barrett was nominated to the top court, ugh. Left-wing Democrat lawmakers called for the expansion or packing the court. In April, President Joe Biden signed an executive order, yes, that established an investigatory body, and that should be coming up shortly because that was another 90-day investigation as well. Maybe it'll come back inconclusive as well. Here's no question that Justice Breyer, with whom I have great respect, should retire and end his term. Mondaire Jones. Ugh, he's had a lot of fucking brilliant takes lately, but this video's long in the tooth enough to just search up Mondaire Jones. He's kind of retarded. I told website news website Cheddar? No. That's not a real place. In April, referring to Ginsburg's death. My goodness, have we not learned our lesson? AOC muttered on a fucking Instagram live stream before showing everybody how to mix a mojito. She's worthless. But Breyer, who dismissed such calls earlier this year, again said that no such notion had an impact on the justices. What goes around comes around, and if the Democrats can do it, the Republicans can do it. The Authority of the Court and the Peril of Politics is my upcoming book. So yeah, keep pushing the old boy. You're trying to poke and prod him, trying to get him to retire. He's going to die on the bench. That's his desire. That's the luxury he's been afforded. Just once again, man. So I can already see them trying to, the Democrats, this is trying to justify packing the court in some form or fashion. But if Breyer's going to stay there until he's literally medically dead, can we use this as an opportunity to fucking reform the courts? Okay, thanks. That'd be great. With that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.